Proof number 2 for practice 1. All we are given in this proof is that R is parallel to S. Again, I will mark the picture with what I am given. Then I look for relationships in the angles that are created by these lines. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 is my first statement. So I try and think of, how do I know that these two must be the same? Well, I notice that one's interior, one's exterior on the same side of this transversal, and that's corresponding. And I remember that if parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then those corresponding angles will be congruent. And I mark it on the picture. Statement number 3 says that angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair. How do I know that? Well, I know that by definition, linear pairs are two angles right next to each other that make a straight line. So that's the definition of what a linear pair is. Then it says 1 and 2 are supplementary. That's slightly different. Now that I've identified that it's a linear pair, I can say that linear pairs are supplementary and move on to say that 1 and 2 therefore are supplementary as well. Well, if 1 and 2 are supplementary, then it follows that the measure of 1 plus the measure of 2 equals 180, because that's what supplementary means. So by the definition of supplementary, I know that those two angles add up to be 180 degrees. Then we switch from angle 2 being congruent to angle 3 to saying that the measure of 2 equals the measure of 3. Well, the only way to change from being congruent to equals is by the definition of congruent. And the only reason to change to equals is so I can do things like add, subtract, multiply, divide, or substitute. And that's exactly what happens. In statement number 5, I show that the measure of 1 plus the measure of 2 is 180. In statement number 7, it changed to the measure of 1 plus the measure of 3 is equal to 180. What happened? Angle 2 was replaced by angle 3 in statement number 5. Because angle 2 and angle 3 are the same, so we make a substitution. So we can write a new statement that says 1 and 3 must also add up to 180 degrees. Substitution. And if I have a statement now that says the measure of 1 plus the measure of 3 equals 180, then that means angle 1 and angle 3 are supplementary by the definition of supplementary again. So I have proven that given only this set of parallel lines, that 1 and 3 must be supplementary because of the relationships that exist.